Can you rotate the input shaft?
Negative.
Ha!
Buggered.
Buggered. G'day ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. So this is our first one of the year, 2023. So happy new year everybody. Last videos I made was doing our car meets last year. Didn't really get to make like a final video of the year, but we're back and we have this beautiful AU Falcon in front of us. So today we're going to be diagnosing what's going on with this gearbox issue. So in the last video, if you probably haven't seen, got 6 laps in the track and it destroyed itself. A couple of speculations here, thinking it might have run out of fluid, maybe it might have been a bad input shaft or something seized. Clutch could possibly be melted to the flywheel, who knows. So today's video we're going to find out what's going on. I actually have a helper today by the name of Brandon. He's come around to give me a hand. He's also brought a spare box, so he's a legend. I'll introduce you to him very shortly, but currently I'm out of breath because I've just been trying to get this car up in the air. And it is like 32 degrees today, or 33, so I'm out of breath. Without further ado, we'll start taking this car apart and finding out what our issue is. All right guys, so here we have a few bits and pieces we're going to be putting into my AU. So once we find out what's going on with our gearbox, once we pull it out, lovely Brandon over here, say hi. He's brought this E-Series gearbox, so these are much shorter. And he's also brought some AU Auto tail shafts, which are hopefully going to be the length we need to make this work for the time being. So hopefully we find out that our gearbox is broken and it's not the clutch wild itself to the flywheel, which we pretty much think, you know, because it's weird for these boxes just to seize for no reason. So massive shout out to you, man, for bringing all this stuff down. Absolute legend. While we're here, we'll show you his car. Take a quick tour of your vehicle. The old workhorse over here. This beautiful wagon with the XR front. Now tell us a bit about it.
Nothing too special. Yeah, XR converted. As a lot of you know, they didn't really do XR or anything special with AU wagons. Yeah. Manual converted, Tickford motor.
Ticky.
All the XR interior, bunch of shit in the back because it's a workhorse, but nothing too special.
Love it. T5 in there, beautiful.
Just a rig.
Yeah, this thing's grouse. You don't see many wagons done up like this.
No.
Yeah, even with the bonnet. Bulge, you said that was a shortened FG bonnet?
Shortened FG. Yeah. Some of you might know the famous Chaz TE from Chaz's Customs. He actually made that years ago. Right. And I adopted it.
Fantastic.
For anyone asking about the plates, they're apparently notorious.
Notorious?
Yeah, or a weird way of saying nitrous.
Oh, nitrous, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, you should put some nitrous on it because it'll be nitrous. Nah, grouse, man, very nice. Yeah, the XR front looks really aggressive. Good daily, good workhorse.
Gets the job done. You can't kill the mighty AU, unless you're at Mark's place.
Yeah, unless you're me. All right, guys, so we are tearing into it now. So here we got my, it's my manual shaft that just pulled out from underneath there. It's bloody hot today, so I'm dripping a sweat. Got Brandon under there, I'm doing some bell housing bolts. And he's brought some shafts here. So these are the auto ones here. You can see the difference in length. So this is my shortened manual one. So this is 60mm shortened, and this is an automatic one here. So you can see how much further out the yoke comes here. So this will actually work in our application because we're using an E-Series box, so it's going to be much shorter. This box should do for now, just to get us out of trouble. And let's see if it lasts longer than 6 laps, hopefully. And yeah, I'd be really eager to see how fucked this box is when it comes out. So we'll continue on and bring you back when we've got some progress. Oh, we've got some banging going on under here. It's almost out. There we go.
Assess the damage soon. Seems like the input shaft might be a bit seized.
Yeah? Not rotating around?
It is a little bit, but it doesn't want to fully let go.
Yeah, okay. It's definitely the box grabbing something inside. Do we get the jack in there under it?
Oh,
get the jack under
possibly.
The back of it? Yeah.
More just need something to lever it away from the bell housing. I'm not so concerned about the weight, it just doesn't want to let go.
Right, okay, it's a bit stuck.
We'll get it though.
Yeah, give it a rest. If not, I'll get the jack in the back of it and we'll fucking, we'll pry it from the front or something.
Yeah, I think that might be the best idea.
All right, I'll go get the jack.
Yeah, sweet.
Well, I heard a big pop. How'd you go? Oh, there she is.
She's coming.
Is the car up high enough to get that out?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And it's a boy.
It's a boy. Awesome. So Brandon just undid it from the 4 bolts there instead of the whole bell housing, so he just pulled it out. Can you rotate the input shaft?
Negative.
Ha!
Buggered.
Buggered. Gearbox.
We might do a tear down.
Yeah, I reckon. Just a mini tear down.
She's locked.
Awesome. All right, at least I know it's a box, so the clutch should be all good.
Yeah.
I mean, the clutch is, I think the clutch is pretty minced because it was like slipping the shit out of it, but
I can't smell any materials.
Okay, that's good. All right, help you drag that out. At least you got the little shaft in the back there. I don't think there's any oil in it though.
And she's out.
Ah, perfect. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Absolute weapon. Got it out in 5 minutes.
One out, one to go.
One out, one to go. I'm actually keen to see what went on. I wouldn't mind pulling that that yoke out the back of it, tipping it back and see if there's any oil in it.
Probably nothing, but we'll see. Give it a crack. Nada. That should have flowed right out.
I think we found the problem.
So top up your gearbox. Check your gearboxes, people.
Check your gearboxes, people. But you know, it's funny. I literally, I was in gear, then I was cruising, then went from second into third, and it seized in between that second to third. Like when it's going neutral, it's just given up. So it didn't even like make a noise or anything, so that's grouse. What do you reckon it's done? It seized an input bearing or something?
Yeah, or just lock the forks up because you can't even actually get it in neutral or change.
Yeah, I noticed when you put your foot on the clutch in the car, I think it went into first and reverse, and that was it.
Solid.
Solid, awesome. All right.
That's the problem with running with no oil. It's fine while you're still connected, but as soon as you shift it, it's all hot from running dry, and then it goes nut.
But now I remember that when I pulled it out, after like the 4th lap, the trans tunnel started getting really warm. Yeah. Which I was like, I thought it might have just been the side pipe,
no,
but I think
really hot.
I think it was the box. God, they're so little, aren't they? Look at that.
Right. You live and you learn.
Live and learn.
I haven't done the exact same thing.
Yeah. Well, now I know. Before every event, I'm gonna stick my finger in the fill hole and just go, yep, no,
just
yep,
do
no.
it while it's there, even if it doesn't need it.
Yep.
Or at least make sure it's got enough in it, because as they say, any oil's better than no oil.
Yep. That's exactly right. Even some lawnmower oil.
Yeah, well.
Some Briggsy in there.
Might not be the best, but it's still going to be better than nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing definitely doesn't
I can't believe there's nothing in there. But you know what? When I had it parked next to the RX-7 behind me, there was a puddle under it one day. But I thought that might have been because I had the trans line still hooked up. So I thought maybe I was moving it, the trans line leaking. Maybe. But yeah, I didn't even think to check the level because I did fill it up after the conversion. So it must have pissed out the arse end or something. Unless maybe the shaft wasn't going fully into the rear seal or something, I don't know.
No, that won't leak that much.
Yeah. Oh well, at least we know what happened now.
Oh.
We'll get her out and maybe I'll show the comparison for the AU box next to the E-Series.
After we get all the car back together, then yeah, we'll do a tear down. So
yeah,
stay tuned for that.
Awesome. All right, so we've got both boxes here. We've just put the old shifter cap and hat and everything on this one with the brass bush, because that one had a brass bush. So this is the gearbox going to be using, the E-Series one. So Brandon's just cracked the drain plug off of this one. What do we got?
There's no liquid in there, but there's something.
Oh, what is that?
A little bit spicy.
Ooh.
Okay, we do have some liquid, but there's a lot of chunks.
What is that?
So,
I get maybe a screwdriver, poke around in there.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely be keen for some diagnostics. Okay.
Oh my.
How is there? Looks like someone filled it up with hay.
Hay.
Well, there's definitely some metallic.
Yeah,
in
I
there
see
too.
that. Yeah.
So that's very shiny.
Yep, that gearbox wasn't gonna.
She's gone.
Yeah, she's gone. Rip T5. It stinks.
It does.
Smell that. What is that?
It's worse than diff oil. I hate that smell.
Yeah, but even like tranny oil.
Very burnt.
Burnt?
Actually, smell it.
Guys, smell it. Smell it. That's.
If only you could. It's disgusting.
It reminds me of an old steam locomotive train set I used to have that actually used to blow steam.
A bit like that, actually.
God, that's horrible. Yeah, you reckon that's probably a remnants of a bearing or something?
Definitely all the.
Oh, it stinks. It smells like something from like the 1800s. That's.
Definitely stay tuned for a little sneak peek of
the teardown. Yeah.
Tear it down later. I'll do that at home.
Yeah, I'll be keen to see what the insides look like, because that's pretty catastrophic.
We would have done it here, but because it's lock solid like that, it won't be actually easy to pull it apart.
Pull apart, yeah. Which is fair. God, it's amazing how it didn't make a noise. It didn't make anything. It just sort of like just went boop when I changed gears. It was a very, very anticlimactic failure. Oh wow, interesting. Well, at least the old E-Series box over here is shifting pretty good. So we applied the brass bush in there so it's nice and tight, because the old one was very floppy. So she's going into gears. Put the old speedo drive on. Yeah, you can definitely see how much shorter this box is to that. So the shifter, we'll have to massage the shifter hole at the front here, Brandon was saying, because the shifter body here is going to hit the front, so he's going to massage the lip. And yeah, and put a longer shaft in to compensate that 60mm of shortness that we had to do for the manual, and put our bell housing on, and Bob's Irani's cousin, and then we're good to go. So apparently the way to determine if it's an E-Series box, obviously the length, and there's another sensor here. What did you say, that was an inhibitor switch, or?
I can't remember exactly, but it's that or the E-Series I think have an extra neutral switch or something like that. Feel free to correct me because I can't remember.
Yeah.
But basically if they've got that extra switch on the top hat, it's an E-Series box.
Right, okay.
It's the easiest sign.
Yeah, obviously you can see, yeah, the AU box hasn't got that. yeah, other than that, it's just pretty much a length that really gives it away. That's the 60mm that we have to make up with the auto shaft. So
hence why I think a lot of people try and use the E-series in there, because you can just use the auto shaft.
Yeah, and just it'll all bolt together. But I think we have to use only 2 of the 4 bolts on the.
Only mount at the 2 back.
Yeah.
Locations at the forward position where normally this one would sit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is fine if you're not going stupid.
For a track car, be fine. Yeah. This will get us out of trouble until we find out what happened to freaking that monstrosity over there.
If anyone's only just got an E-series box and want to chuck it in their AU, you can make it work, and you can always fab up a cross member that's a bit more sturdy if you don't like the idea of having just 2 bolts.
Yeah.
There's plenty of stuff on forums anyway.
Yeah, I remember even before getting into like converting my car, looking at all the different things you can do with the E-series boxes to make them work. Like you said, they're the exact same box, strength-wise, just one's longer. Yeah, well, hopefully this gets us out of trouble, and yeah, I'll be really keen to find out why this thing dumped all its oil, and obviously we're going to be double checking this.
Definitely going to get some fresh fluid.
Yeah, fresh oil, and making sure she's full at all times. All right, we're under the car now. Big Brandon on there setting himself up. Wrestling.
Sure you've got something to say about why I'm doing it, but this is how I've always done them.
That's the same way I did the patrol box. I literally just put it on my chest. Oh, you're pissing out oil. Forgot to put the thing in the back.
Oh, bugger.
That's all right. I'll get the thing. Oh. So we put the little half yoke thing in the back so it doesn't piss out oil again. Right now, the fucking exhaust is right in the way.
That's all right. Once it's on top of you, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Hey. Should have put it in gear for you.
You might just have to jack the front of the motor up to give it that tilt.
Oh, yep. Do you want me to push on the cylinder head?
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that for you.
Always forget that part while I'm under.
Yeah. I'll push on the head for you. Now, I'll use 2 hands so I can give you a bit of a rock.
And just like that. All right, let go.
Oh, you got it?
Yep.
Oh my God. What a machine. Hey,
Now to separate myself from the car.
You become a part of the vehicle. You alright?
Yeah. Just wiggling that last little bit in, but it is in.
That's alright. Cool.
Now we pretty much put the jacket under it and wiggle it the rest of the way.
Awesome. Alright, so a bit of progression now. We got Brandon under the car, tighten up the bell housing bolts. Now here I've just had to make a bit of clearance for our shifter because it sits much more forward with the E-series box. So literally just got some channel locks or vice grips and that, and just bent it as hard forward and then hammered it down. So that should give us clearance. The shifter hole probably has to do that left-hand corner a little bit more, but yeah. And we just started it just off camera, and because we kept the actual bow housing on the car so we could still start it with the clutch and everything, so we can make sure the clutch hadn't melted itself or anything. That's still doing its thing. Great that the gearbox is out and we can, you know, definitely see that it's seized and all buggered. Poor thing. But oh well, next time you go out, guys, check your oil in your boxes. Well guys, a few hours have passed. If we have a look in here, we have our E-series box in here. You can see the shifter just misses the console here, and we can't really run the boot for now, but this is very temporary setup to get us by for the next event. And if we have a look under the car as well, tail shaft is all in and the box down there. The car is flat at the moment. We had to jump start it before because the battery's dead. Yeah, it's all complete again with the E-series box in it. So I cannot thank Brandon enough for all his work today, and him helping and being an absolute legend. He charged me bugger all for this box anyway, and he just said, you know, take it, put it in, brought me the drive shafts and helped me out putting it all in. So absolute legend. He was actually the guy that brought the engine out of the other track car that we had sitting here, the donor car. So he's using that for his project. Also over here, he's given us a proper manual ECU. So he's going to put this in the car, and he's got the actual tool to program it. This car will actually run a lot better that way too. We're going to do it today, we ran out of time. All I really need to do is put fluid in there, drop the car down and just make sure it all works. We've rode through all the gears, it all works fine. The gearbox was sloppy, but we actually put the brass bush and all the shifter mechanism out of the old box that I had in this car into this new box, and it's all nice and tight. You can see we've got the beautiful patrol over there, back to daily duties. But yeah guys, I am freaking wrapped that we got this done so fast. I literally just thought we'll pull the gearbox out today and we're gonna assess it. But yeah, new one's in and the car's ready to go. It's all bolted up. So yeah, E-series box does work. You just need to use an auto sedan tail shaft, and only 2 of the 4 bolts on the cross member wheel line up, and the shifter hole needs to be sort of adjusted for it to fit because it's a bit further up forward. So we'll bring you guys back when we put some fluid in it. We'll take it for a test drive, make sure it all works, get it all ready for the next event. I think the next video we'll actually do would be the dual caliper setup and everything, so we can reef on the handbrake and make it lock up pretty instantly. So that'll be probably after this video. But yeah, and here we have the manual tail shaft here, so you can see where it has been shortened at the back there. So I'm going to keep this obviously as a spare, so when we get our AU box back, we'll find out what went wrong inside that box. And yeah, I'm really keen to know. But it's getting late now, so I'm going to pick back up on Friday. It's currently Wednesday, so it's about 2 days from now. And we'll get some fluid in her, drop her down, take her for a ride, and hopefully it all works good. Hopefully the clutch is still good. We tested the clutch and everything, put some tension on the cable, and it all seems to work perfectly. So without further ado, I'll catch you guys in the next clips. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the next day, or it's actually 2 days later. So we got the car jacked up, still in the air like last time. I've noticed coming around this side that we have a flat tire, so I'm gonna have to figure out why that's got a puncture in it. So box is in. I think I showed you the shifter and everything. I sort of buttoned it all up. It's gonna be really hot in here. It's a warm day. Oh, let's get in the mighty Falcon jet. Isn't she pretty? So yeah, you see how much more forward the shifter sits. It's sort of just sitting in at the moment. It's not bolted in properly, but all the way forward, we get pretty close to the radio. Not too close. You can still get your hand around it. We're going to bash third gear. They're going to smack our knuckles on the stereo. I'm probably going to take the radio out anyway. Yeah, but you can see in there how we've massaged the shifter hole around there just to get it to clear. It's more so not to clear the rubber boot, but there's like the little collar around the shifting mechanism where it's sort of got to, where it's got to come up through. You can see our shaft in there. And yeah, so the box is much shorter. With AU box would come all the way past there. So at least the console fits. It just, the shifter just misses the console there, but that's fine. So oh, look at the mighty EF Falcon here. It's a bit dusty, but there you go. It's a mighty EF. There she is. Bloody beautiful car, isn't she? Absolute beaut. She's been doing the daily duties at the moment. The XL shit itself, so this has been the daily. This and the patrol actually has been the daily for the time being. So we're going to start filling her up. It's a big bottle, so these take I think 1.9 litres. So I've actually got a diff oil bottle, which I'm going to just clean out and use that. That way we can just sort of tip it in, squeeze it. Should be good. So I'll get myself set up and then we'll get back to you when we're putting the oil in. All right guys, so we got ourselves set up under here. I'll show you what we're doing. So we are under the box. My buddy Scott just got here. But we have a squeezy bottle. So this is actually a diff oil bottle, but in there we have I know it's a Penrite bottle, but we have Newline 530 Gearbox oil. Well, it's actually diesel oil, but apparently it's the best for these T5s. So you can see I've got it just snuck in there, so I'm just pushing on it and squeezing it. It's such a pain in the ass to film, but that's your drain plug there, and your fill one's the one on top. Once we get it filled up, hopefully kick her in the guts and see if she works. All right guys, some time has passed. Had a buddy of mine here, so we're just testing a few things. It all works, so we're going to take it out for a bit of a drive now. I'm freaking excited. Also, what I'm going to do is the front wheels here, they're 17s and the rears are 18s. So I'm going to put the 18s on the front and have the smaller wheels on the back. So they're Drift Techs and they're Rotor Grids. So I'm going to swap them around, but we'll do that when we come back. So we'll take it for a little bit of a bust, see how it feels. This gearbox was a known working gearbox, which is good. So hopefully it shifts nice and smooth. I've tested the clutch to make sure it goes forward and back. Also, we have a video that got sent to us by Brandon himself, and yeah, he pulled apart the gearbox, and have a look for yourself.
Rightio, Mark 180 SX fans. For anyone wondering what happened to the Cent T5, this is it. Absolutely destroyed. Ran dry, all the gears are cooked, and there is shavings absolutely everywhere. So she's done. Yeah, so what has happened since it's ran dry is the input shaft has pretty much welded itself to the rest of it. You can see by the blue tinge here just how hot it's gotten. So something's locked up that's locking it together. So practically, in a sense, the box is tied a knot in itself.
So yeah, pretty trashed. So yeah, most likely that rear seal went, and that's what that puddle was under at that time when I didn't really pay attention to it. I thought it was actually the FD leaking from the power steering. That's why the fluid was so sort of new. But yeah, I had a look under this and the fluid seems to be holding. I had it running for a bit, so we'll kick her in the guts and we'll go for a bit of a spin, and hopefully she's all good. Starts right up. The old girl, can hear the exhaust rattling. We have a view of our shaft. I'm gonna put a little bit of grease on that actually, just to make sure it doesn't pinch that seal. Car started nicely. Had to jump start it before because the battery was dead. Still got a full tank. Just coming up to temperature because I let it idle for a bit. We got charge and oil pressure. Without further ado, I had the aircon going too. So we have the aircon going, you'll hear it. Now we got nice ice cold aircon still in a fucking track car. How good's that? So I'll put this window down so we don't suffocate. Alright, we're in first. And we're moving. That's good, no noises. Clutch seems to be engaging well. Got to make sure she doesn't slip too, because the clutch did slip a little bit when the gearbox ceased. So I want to make sure she's still got some life in there. Second. Yes, we got second. Third. We got third gear. Oh, she's running really nice. This gearbox actually shifts really nice as well. Now obviously I'm just going to film the dash, not filming the streets near my house and stuff. Feels good. Feels good to be driving it again. There's a bit of a straight up here, so I'm going to just put my foot down, make sure the clutch doesn't slip or anything. God, this car's so loud, I forgot how loud it is. Feels amazing. Oh wow, that feels great. She's a car again. Hell yeah, guys. All right, well that's good. That's good reassurance for myself. So we'll go back to the house and I'll pick up with you guys there. Woohoo, I'm so excited. Hell yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and now you can see that the car runs and drives. Brandon, the legend, is back. So he's come back and he's brought us a bit of a care package today. And one of the good things about this car now is that we have all the windows currently working. So you guys will know when I was at the track, I had to keep opening the door when I got to the pit straight when I was in line, because only the passenger window would work off that door. But now Brandon's brought us some master switches and now we've got another master switch in there, and that was a problem. So touch the auto and it goes up on its own. Fantastic. So that's all done. Now inside the car here, we also have been gifted by this legend over here a little bit of a dog leg shifter. So hopefully that'll put the shifter sort of back into the center, so I'm not smashing the head unit every time I go into first and third. So that's great. So I'm going to put that on now and hopefully that will solve a lot of issues. So yeah, this brings a shifter in the center here, which is fantastic. That's the threads for the shift knob there, so I'll just go to tighten that bottom bolt here. Trusty ratchet spanner. If you don't have a set, please get a set of these, because they literally will save half of your existence.
They're required by law to work on an AU Falcon.
By law, there you go. The AU guru himself said it. At least now the shifter will be in the center here, so that when we put the knob on, it'll be more central. I'll probably still run the boot on there, so I've got the boot here, so I'll see if that fits, and if that fits, it'll stop all the heat from coming in here. Also, I've greased up the shaft in there. Make sure that rear seal doesn't catch, and then we have the same problem as last time, but I know this gearbox is full to the fucking brim, so I'll bring it back when we button all this up, and hopefully it looks and performs schmickos. Well, put it all back together, got the boot on, so with the little dog leg that comes out into here, it allows me to put this boot on, because the other shifter would have come out about here-ish. So at least with this little dog leg, this little S shifter here, so this is obviously, the stock one would have been way forward here, so we've been close to hitting the radio. Also, Brandon over there got a little tool to pull the standard head unit out, and he's also put this little pocket in here, so it looks nice and complete. But you see, like now I'm in first with this shifter, I'm nowhere near the dashboard here, so that's so much better. So that's going to be freaking sick. All we have left to do is Brandon also brought a manual ECU. So this still has an auto ECU, and it is just got the neutral switch plugged in, so we can still run it. But he's actually brought a manual ECU, and he's also got the special programming tool to program it and make it all work with the car. That'll be the last thing to do, and I think we're pretty much done. So right now I'm just gonna swap the wheels around. This car's coming along well. I get the windows down. It's so good having all the windows down out the track. I don't have to freaking suffocate in this car. But the aircon still works, and it's fantastic. It's nice and ice cold. So without further ado, I'll go change the wheels over and then hopefully put the ECU in, and then we're done. Also, to get the console to move a little bit further forward so I could shift it in first gear with that S shifter on, I've taken the vents out of the inside of the console there. So, because these vents will button hard up against the dashboard in there. So what we've done is we've pushed the console further in. That way when the shifter is all the way in first and third, it's still got heaps of room. So, and obviously we don't need these vents anymore. So got this XR ute wing here, just chilling. We actually sat on the back of this, it looked pretty funny, but it's way too wide for this car. All right, now I'm gonna get the jack out and we'll swap the wheels over and yeah. All right everyone, so we have put the 17s on the arse end and the 18s on the front, so they fill up the guard much more nicer than before. So yeah, drift text on the front and rotor grids on the back. So we're pretty much done for the day. We're gonna put the manual ECU in, but ran out of time, unfortunately. But next video we'll be doing that, as well as we'll be doing the dual caliper setup with the hydro. So I'm going to try and aim for February event. There is one at the end of this month, but I'm not going to push it. But at least we know the car runs and drives, and we have a gearbox. We got all gears again. We haven't got a gearbox that turns into metal mush. So yeah, in the next video we'll definitely be buttoning her up and getting her dialed. That way we can actually last a full event. We know this gearbox is really good, shifts really well. Massive thank you to Brandon. So thank you very much, man. I appreciate your help so much, and it's gotten this car back to where it needs to be. Oh well everyone, enjoy yourselves, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care everyone, see you later.